WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. Just shortly after 1 p.m. yesterday, the Huntingburg police responded to a call of battery that took place inside of Freedom Bank. Police arrived and spoke to the male victim of the battery assault. During the investigation, police learned that 59-year-old Glenn Rosing of Newburgh had become angry during a real estate closing taking place at Freedom Bank, when Rosing verbally assaulted the victim, then walked up to him and punched the victim in the face. A DuBois County deputy located the suspect's vehicle and stopped in at CVS in Huntingburg, where he was taken into custody finally. Rosing was transported to the DuBois County Security Center for lodging and was also charged with battery. The Ferdinand Town Council held their first meeting of the 2017 year last night, and on the agenda was reorganization. All council and department heads remained the same, and the council heard from the Chief of Police, Lloyd Froman, for the monthly report. Froman commended the work being done in the area and also with his department.
I would like to commend them for a job well done. Our newest patrolman, Eric Hopkins, he had been working a leaving the scene property damage accident that occurred approximately about a month ago, and he's been staying with it, and he discovered the vehicle and made contact with the company that had done the damage and worked with them, and he has got reimbursement for our town for the loss. Also, I'd like to commend our Assistant Chief Brian Seffernick, our Lieutenant Rob Randall, and our Sergeant Nathan Leakin on a recent drug arrest that they made here in town. They worked hand in hand and completed all the paperwork and got everything taken care of, and they did an exceptionally good job on it.
The council then heard from Fire Chief and Assistant Property Manager Dan Lindauer. Lindauer reported that the fire department had hired Zarek Wells to fill the position that was left open in the department after Randy Galehausen announced his retirement last year. Wells works at night as a paramedic for Memorial and graduated from Vincennes University with a degree in fire safety and is originally from Warwick County. Lindauer says that Wells' background and the fact that he works nights and will be available during the day will be a benefit to the fire department as a whole. Lindauer spoke on the protocol for the necessity of purchasing and maintaining up-to-date trucks for his department.
And after a truck gets to be 20 plus years old, for it to be considered ISO, if you will, our insurance that accepts the truck for the rating, your fire insurance rating, you have to upgrade your equipment due to that reason, and that is why it ain't saying the truck is inoperable, but to keep up to standards and meet the qualifications and keep your insurance rating up to where it needs to be, that is why we want to replace our equipment at a reasonable amount of time.
Tom Leakin of the Property and Street Department was approved to attend the Indiana Park and Recreation Association's Conference and Expo happening in Indianapolis on January the 19th. The expo is designed to provide news, information, and development opportunities for the over 900 park and rec professionals it represents throughout our Hoosier state. Town manager Chris James reported that the Ferdinand Community School had faced some issues with their fiber optics leading into the school over the past week, which then rendered their phone lines and internet access completely unavailable for that period of time. It was reported that the underground access had a 90-degree turn where the water had pooled and by some degree disabled the fiber's use. Tech was called in and they were able to temporarily repair the issue. The school is planning an official and more permanent repair to be made sometime later this month. Town manager Chris James discussed the loan that the town has secured with the U.S. Department of Agricultural Development to move forward on the phosphorus project for the wastewater treatment plant as well.
At December 28th, we met in Jasper and signed the paperwork to activate the bonds necessary to go forward with the loan. Rural development through the auspices of the United States Department of Agriculture has provided town of Ferdinand about $2.12 million in total funding, a little over $1.17 million in a loan. It's a 40-year loan of an interest rate of 1.875%, and then we also received a grant for $940,000 through this program. The loan monies are what are used first for this project to cover any and all expenses. We will then go to the grant money once the loan dollars have been exhausted. The interest rate initially on this project was 2.25%, and then at the tail end of the year, we had been under the assumption we were going to have to do interim financing. It's a new procedure, a new step in the process through rural development, where we would have actually had to have borrowed money through the Indiana Bond Bank to cover the loan that we'd be getting from rural development. However, Mike Strahl, our local RD representative, was able to maneuver the arrangement to where we did not have to do the interim financing. We just will go strictly through rural development, and by that virtue, we were able to take the entire project in and lower the interest rate from the 2.25% to the 1.875% rate. This is a 40-year loan, but obviously whatever savings you can get on the interest rate is going to be beneficial to the town. And with the turn of the year, we've already seen on the federal level, interest rates are starting to climb for all loans, both this type of project and just regular commercial loans. So we got in at the tail end of last year. We were able to lock in that rate for the 40-year window, and that will be a financial benefit to the town in the long run and the short term. In terms of the financing, we had to do a sewer rate increase to cover some of this as well, so we're able to benefit in that regard as well.
Ken Seacard gave a brief overview and update on the anticipated trail project at the old water treatment plant.
The water treatment plant has been there for many years, is no longer in service. In fact, it's basically a shell of a building. We are in the process of working on a plan to put a trail around the Old Town Lake. And in doing so, we want to turn the area where the the building for demolition is, the old plant, we want to turn that into parking lots and also a shelter house. So we are in the process now of starting to tear down the building so that our citizens will eventually have basically a third park to go to.
Bev Schulteis reported that the state of Indiana has only issued budgets for 29 of the 90 counties in Indiana. Du Bois County has not yet received their budget for the 2017 year, and she is anticipating that it will happen soon. The next regularly scheduled meeting for the Town Council will be held on February 14th at 7:30 p.m. in the Ferdinand Town Hall. Make sure to keep it right here, because up next we'll take a look at your weather summary.